There we go. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk to you a bit about my university experience so far. Now, as I am filming this, I've had my first day of second semester, so I'm going to give a recap of my very first semester of university life. Now, as a quick kind of overall welcome to my university life, I don't know if that's what I'm trying to say, but we're going to go with it. Basically, I am at Aberdeen University in Scotland, if you did not know where Aberdeen University is. I am studying MA Primary Education, which is a 4-year course, and then you do a probation year. I am going to talk a bit more in detail about the kind of course side of things rather than the kind of social aspect. So this is a lot more about if you're thinking of applying for this course, or you just want a general idea of what I've been doing for the last 6 months of my life. Now, the general kind of structure of this course, it is made up of different credits, and by the end of first year you need to have 120 credits, and in first semester you do 60 and in second semester you do 60. So sticking to first semester, I had 60 credits that I had to make up. And the primary education course comes with 2 mandatory little kind of sub courses that you need to do, which make up 30 credits. The first course is What Makes Us Human, that is a 15 credit course, and the second course is Learning How to Learn, and that is another 15 credit course. So to be able to make up my 60 credits, I had to choose 2 other courses as electives. So the electives I chose for first semester were Mandarin and a business elective called Managing Organisations. And altogether those 4 15 credit courses made up the 60 credits that I needed for first semester. Now, going back to primary education, the first course, What Makes Us Human, was at the beginning my favourite. As the name kind of suggests, it is a course all about what makes us who we are and kind of what makes us different to other animals and how you can kind of access those differences to be able to teach. I also really enjoyed this course because it brought in different subjects. Every week that we went in for a lecture, we would get a lecture from a different part of the university. So different things that we did were like genetics and origins, where we got lectures by the science department. We did rites and rituals and rites of passage, where an anthropology lecturer came in to speak to us. We did children's rights, which was a bit more about politics. So it was just really interesting, and I felt that when I went into those lectures I came out knowing a bit more. Towards the end of the semester, our lectures were more focused towards things that would kind of influence a classroom setting. So it was a bit more about like gender and popularity and kind of social groups, which I found really interesting. I love the kind of gender debate, and it was all kind of nature versus nurture, and that really interested me. As for the second course, Learning How to Learn, at the beginning I did not like this course because we did a lot about critical reading and writing, and it was very much kind of theory based about how to like read like university level books, and it felt like I was sitting in English again, and close reading is not my thing. So I really didn't get into the first few weeks of that course, but then as that passed and we got into the more learning theory side, I loved that course. I'd say that Learning How to Learn was a lot more applicable to primary education. You felt as though you were learning things that you would then use in the classroom. We learned about self-efficacy, we learned about experiential learning, social constructivism, and it was a lot about different theories and theorists, and when you were in that class it kind of made you feel like you were eventually getting to the primary education side of things, which I really liked. Exam wise, for the both of these primary education courses, they were 100% essay based. For What Makes Us Human, this was a 2,000 word essay, and for Learning How to Learn it was a 3,000 word essay. I submitted them at the middle of December and I'm still waiting on my results. They are due in on Friday. Today, as I'm filming this, it is Tuesday, so fingers crossed. Now, moving on to the electives that I did, I chose business because I did higher business in 6th year at school and I really enjoyed it. It sounded quite interesting. As the name kind of suggests, it focuses on management and the management side of business. So we did quite a bit about kind of corporate culture and human resources and managing people, and then we did a bit about managing operations and kind of like organising a business type thing. A lot of what we learned in first semester kind of overlapped with higher business management, which I found to be a great bonus because it meant that I didn't have to focus as much attention on that and I could focus on my other courses. In this course, your final grade is made up from an essay and a final exam. The essay is worth 25% of your grade and it's done kind of more early on in the semester. I think it was October that our essays were due in, and they get marked and get given back to you so you know what grade you have going into the exam. And speaking of the exam, that makes up the final 75% of your grade. It is all multiple choice and then a short essay question at the end. I believe my essay was like 5 sides of A4, so it wasn't like a massive essay. I'd say it was about 800-900 words. So the exam, it was fairly alright. I just kind of went in and did it and then that was me. I got my business grade back this morning and I got a B1, which I am very happy with. So that means I've achieved my kind of 15 credits for that course, which was good to know because that's now over with. And the final elective that I did this year was Mandarin. I initially did not plan on doing a language at all. I'm not really the languagey type. I don't really learn the way that languages are taught in schools. I'm much more of a kind of immerse yourself and soak up type person. But we got told that all primary education students had to do a language for at least 1 semester. And I thought that I would just get it over with in the first semester so that I then didn't have to worry about it. So I chose Mandarin. And I have to say, I am really glad that I did. I went into that first class and my brain just kind of fizzled out of every orifice in my body as I listened to what they were saying. But I'd say that by the kind of 2nd, 3rd week in, I just understood it, and I really don't know what happened because I'm not a language person at all. But I sat there and I was taking in what they were saying and I found it easier than French. I found learning Mandarin easier than learning French. Now, a lot of Mandarin courses you either learn how to read and write or you learn how to like speak it and listen to it. But in this course that we did both. So it was speaking, reading, writing, listening, all thrown at you at the one time. A bit overwhelming, but I managed to keep my head above water and I really enjoyed it. As for the final exam for Mandarin, there was no speaking component, which I am quite glad about. I always really got nervous at speaking tests at school, so I think a speaking test in Mandarin, after I'd only done it for 3 months, would like push me over the edge. So the exam was made up of a listening test, which we did, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before the final exam, and that was worth 20%. Then there was 2 homeworks that we had to do throughout the semester, which were each worth 10%, and then the final exam was 60%, and that was a reading and writing. I got my Mandarin grade back on Friday, I think it was, and I got an A. I got an A4 in Mandarin, and I am so excited. Like, I don't know how I managed that. If you have any questions about anything that I've not answered in this video already, leave them down below, or if you'd like me to do another video a bit more in detail about a specific section, a specific subject, or about the exam process, let me know and I can do that for you. As for this semester, again, it is 2 primary education courses and then 2 electives. The 2 electives that I'm doing this semester are psychology and philosophy. So stay tuned for the update on how that goes at the end of this year. And yeah, I feel as though that's all I have to say. I now have to go because I want to make my first philosophy lecture of this semester. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again next week for a new video. Bye! Mwah! I say fairly for fuss I hate this.